First at 4, the Newswatch 12 21st Annual Sportsman and Outdoor Recreation Show is completely online this year, and it begins tomorrow.
Virtual sessions include everything from fishing, gun safety for kids, and water safety from the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Today, Newswatch 12's Anna Orsini spoke with the president of Kids S.A.F.E Foundation to get an idea of what to expect from this virtual event.
Joining us now is Leblanc, the president and founder of Kids S.A.F E Foundation. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, what is the Kids S.A.F E Foundation?
So the Kids S.A.F E Foundation, we're a 501c3 nonprofit based in Eugene, and so we teach firearm safety and accident prevention to kids.
Why is that something that is so important to you, and why is it something that should be important to somebody who does have a kid?
Well, I think, there's threats all around our society to our children. I think it's important that we, educate. If we look at the data, I kind of modeled our program similar to water safety. Like, we teach every one of our kids in the country how to swim because we don't want them to drown. That's the same principle behind our kids' firearm safety program, is it's education for every kid.
Absolutely, and I think water safety is a good comparison because whether you're an avid swimmer always at the beach or you're somebody who maybe just goes by the water, it's something that you could encounter every single day. So you do need to know about it, and you do need to know how to handle guns and what to do if you have one or around one. So normally you have the popular BB gun range at the show. How will you deliver the message of gun safety this year virtually?
So we actually had to change kind of the way we do things this year because of the COVID. And so we had to do everything, via either a website or use an online, our social media presence there to kind of deliver the importance of education to our kids. And so that's what we've kind of had to change, kind of how we relate with the public. And it's been fun. It's been challenging, but it's been fun.
And when you've been doing this, do you find that the kids, maybe because they are online, they feel willing to ask more questions, maybe get more involved because they're doing it from the safety of their own home?
Yeah, so the benefit of what we're doing is it also helps us spread our reach. So we're going beyond, Oregon and California where we typically travel. So now we're able to reach kids all over the country. So it's actually been a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely, and I think with kids from other parts of the region as well, there's different challenges. They could encounter different situations there, so you're not just reaching, I guess, these regions that you usually would focus on, but really kids who may not even have known that an outreach program like this was available to them.
Exactly. And part of what we're doing as well is we do the firearm safety, but we're also teaching them about anti-bullying. We're talking about video games, video game violence. We're talking about online safety as well. So, we're doing more than just the firearm safety as well when typically we're trying to educate the kids.
And I think, and this is so heartbreaking and just hard to bring up in general, but when you think about years past and some of the incidents that have happened at schools, I think all of those factors go into each other when we talk about anti-bullying and violence and video games and then gun safety as well. So why do you think it's important for parents, even if they're like, hey, we don't have a gun in the house, we don't know anybody who has a gun, why is this a program that their kids should still participate in?
Well, I think it's really, that's the most important statement you've made so far is just because you do not own firearms, you might be afraid of firearms, you might not understand firearms, don't think for a second that your kids can't find them somewhere else. I hear horror stories all the time about kids finding them at city parks, guns that are used in the commission of a crime, sometimes that are discarded out the window. And so if your kid were in that position, or if they go to a play date, so if your kid's ever put in that position, they don't know what to do, that's where they're going to be very vulnerable.
Absolutely. And so it's kind of for parents preparing for the worst, even though hopefully that doesn't come, just in case, because you never know.
Well, yeah, and that's part of what we're doing is we're trying to take that novelty away from the firearm and show that this is a tool, not a toy. And a lot of our kids are getting their information from either YouTube or video games, which is not necessarily the best way, because now they have shot a machine gun on a video game and now they think that's how all firearms are. So part of what we're doing is we're trying to dispel any kind of rumors, give the kids and parents good topical information that's relevant to the safety of their kids.
Yeah, because whether or not you have a firearm in your own house, I mean, between media, everything online, kids are going to be exposed to it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, guns are here. They're in our society. They're not going anywhere. So it's important that we do educate the kids, and in that way we help reduce, statistics. We lose about 8 to 9 kids per day across the country, and with proper education of the parents and the kids, it's our goal to hopefully reduce that to 0.
Now, the Newswatch 12 Sportsman and Outdoor Recreation Show is Friday through Thursday, March 4th. But if you don't get enough by the end of next week, there's also an encore presentation available. That's March 12th through the 13th online. You can find a link to